Hi everybody, how's it going? Mark here. Hello. Okay. Ooh, that's weird. I put my right hand up. I usually put my left hand up and then realise I can't. Anyway, yeah, I'm back. Yes. Did you miss me? Did you? Oh, you didn't. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, I was on holiday for 2 weeks. I went to Switzerland, which was really nice. Very hilly. Lots of goats. Excuse me. And lots of cows with bells on them and that. And yeah, I saw somebody blow his alpine horn in public as well, which was quite interesting. I thought, so I'll show you some things that I picked up from Switzerland. Some of them are comics. The non-comic things, if you ever get a chance to go to Switzerland, there's, I suppose, two main shops you can go into. One's called Co-op and one's called Migros. And if you go into the Migros, you can pick up this. Yes, it's a cake pie. I mean, okay, it's a tartlet, it's a chocolate tartlet, but it's pie with cake in it, chocolate cake. How much? What more do you want? It's cake pie. Cake pie. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's mine. Get off. What else did I get? Oh, if you know Simpsons, ever heard of that? Simpsons, yeah. If you ever wondered what Homer Simpson's favourite drink tasted like, well, if you go to Switzerland, I'm sure there's other places you can get this as well, but if you go to Switzerland, at least I know anyway, you'll be able to find out, because I bought Duff beer. Yes, Duff beer. These are only Coke can size cans. They're only 330ml cans. Excuse me. It does actually have lager in it. It's got premium lager in it. It's about 4.7%. So I don't know what that is in new pounds. There you go. How's that? I got a 4-pack. Unfortunately, the front two are okay, which is the reason why they're at the front. The back two got a little bit of vacuum problem in the plane back on the journey back from Switzerland, and but I think if I just like put something, if I just put something in there and blow air into it, it should pop out the aluminium can and that. But yeah, the actual plastic thing that comes around it didn't actually come with the cans. The cans were sold in separate units and that, so I had to go out and buy a 4-pack of cider and drink that so I could get the plastic thing around. See the things I do for my hobby. I have to take a bullet like that to be able to get something as cool as this. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. Duff beer, a 4-pack of Duff beer. So yeah, that's going to be going on my shelf, possibly over this way. So you might not see it again, but yeah, you might do. Yeah, that's the non-comic stuff. Anyway, I'll show you the comics that I picked up. Anybody who has been to Switzerland or lives in Switzerland and you're watching this, or you know anything about Switzerland, if you know if there's any comic shops in Switzerland, then let me know, because I haven't found it. I think I found there's a couple in Zurich, and I think there's one in Bern, I think, or maybe Basel. But I've looked on the internet, but I don't know where they are in those towns and cities. So the closest I could actually come to what you would possibly call a comic shop was a couple of sort of second-hand or like antique thrift shop, charity shop sort of places that I found in Switzerland. Now they do have comics in Switzerland that are sold in newsagents, but they're just reprint comics. They're like the Panini, I think that's right, that's where you say it. Yeah, the Panini or Titan books that we have in the UK, which reprint American comics. Now, this first one here is Batman, #1. Das neue DC Universum. Batman. #1. Now, any keen-eye comic book fan will know that's not the cover to Batman #1. That's actually the cover to Detective Comics #1, and that's because this reprints Detective Comics #1 and 2 in one volume. Now, it's all translated in German, so if you can read German, you'll be fine. I personally have picked it up because I've got the original comics in any case, but it's a nice little novelty thing to have, you know, Batman in German. That's pretty cool, and it's a #1, which is pretty good. There were other ones as well they had there. There was the, there you go, you see that, you've got Superman, which reprinted Action Comics #1 and Supergirl #1. That one's the one I've got. You've got that one there, which is Batman the Dark Knight, which I don't know what that will reprint, because it comes out tomorrow. And as you can see, I'm in the UK again. Hello. And that one there is Justice League #1, and I'm not too sure which issues that will reprint. There was also a Green Lantern one that reprinted Green Lantern #1 and Green Lantern Corp #1. And if you look inside, you've also got Flash, Catwoman and Aquaman #1 as well in separate issues. And again, I don't know if they'll be like this, where they'll reprint 2 issues of the title character, or whether they, like the Superman one there, whether they'll reprint the 2 different characters but from the same sort of like area of the universe, DC universe. And yeah, like I said, it's exactly the same as Detective Comics #1 and Detective Comics #2. There you go. That's the end of Detective Comics #1, and it's the beginning of Detective Comics #2 there. And at the back, you also get a little cover gallery with the original cover for Detective Comics #1 and Detective Comics #2 there. So yeah, that was quite an interesting thing. I also, just to show, you know, no bias or anything like that, I also picked up a Marvel comic as well, and this is the X-Men #137, which I think it reprints X-Men Schism #1. It also has X-Men 15.1, X-Men 16 and X-Men 17 in it. So it's quite a hefty book, you see. And there's a cover for that. And again, it's near enough exactly the same. So I was just making sure that was made by the same company. They're both printed by Panini, which in the UK they used to do sticker albums, like World Cup sticker albums or Return of the Jedi sticker books, where you used to get stickers and you get a book with all the squares in there, you put the stickers in and that, and it's pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, there you go. And again, it's all translated into German. I've got a few other foreign language comics that I've picked up over the years from Holland. I've got a She-Hulk from Holland, actually. That's quite cool. And I think I've got a Defenders as well. There's a reprint comic that was in Dutch as well. And I've got a couple of German. I've got a Secret Invasion, I think, in German. I think I might even have an issue of Secret War in German as well. If I can find them, if anybody's interested, I'll do a video for them if you want. And yeah, it just goes through, reprints the issues that I've mentioned. Yeah, that's Ghost Rider in there. He obviously appeared in one of the X-Men issues. And yeah, like I said, I can't personally I can't read German, and I understand very little German. But it's more of a novelty value. Plus, I think it's a bit more, well, for me anyway, for a comic book collector, it's a bit more interesting to pick up a comic that's in another language rather than, say, a thimble or a straw donkey with a Mexican hat on or something. You know, whatever other people pick up, you know, when they go to other countries. These two I got in what you would call a newsagents in Switzerland. The rest of the comics I picked up, I actually picked up in the second-hand shops and the thrift shops and the antique shops that I went into. And this one here is Bugs Bunny. And that's number 3. Now, if I remember correctly, this is from 1983. So it's not really that old. I suppose it's sort of like about 20, nearly 30 years old, but it reprints, from what I can see, old Dell comics from the 1950s. Unfortunately, this one's still got the price sticker on there. I couldn't get that off. I would have ended up damaging the comic more. So sometimes it's just best to leave the price sticker on there. But I'll show you some of this in here. You got Bugs Bunny, all in German. So if you ever want to teach your kids how to speak another language, this is a really good way to get them to learn to speak another language as well, or at least to read another language anyway. And what else do we have? We've got, there you go, Bugs Bunny digging up a great big carrot. And you have Tweety and Sylvester. Go. More Bugs Bunny. You have a Daffy Duck. Now, if you like Disney comics, it would be a paradise for you in Europe, because Disney comics are everywhere. I don't think you actually go into a bookshop or a newsagent's where there isn't Disney comics. Again, it'll be in whichever language is spoken in that country, but you know, personally, I'm not really a big Disney fan. Never have been. There's a few films that they've done, or you know, that are okay, but Disney to me is just not really. I'm more of a Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers fan myself. Here's another one called Comics. And this is in German as well. And this is number 6. And this is from 1977, so a bit older. This one is more of the sort of European comics that you get, like Asterix. There's a strip in here called Comics Krimi, which is that sort of like artwork. I'll show you the Asterix as well. So let me show you that. There's Asterix. And you also have a character which I've never heard before called Albert Enzian. Popeye. Again, all in German. And I'm not too sure how well known this character is outside of Europe, but you've got Hagar the Horrible. Yeah. He's pretty well known in the UK for his newspaper strips. I think it's the Daily Star, I think he's in. And then you've got this one, Dracula, which is in the same style as Asterix. That's Dracula in Egypt. There you go. And this is the one that might interest some people here, especially in America. This comic actually reprints Archie stories as well. I don't know if there's any big Archie fans out there, but if you know which issue of Archie this reprints, or whether it's like a newspaper strip, then leave a comment down below and let us know. And yep, and that's it. So I had advert on the back there for something. There you go. So that's another comic that I picked up in one of the second-hand shops, and I picked up these as well. You have a comic, and these ones are in Italian because obviously Switzerland is bordered by France, Germany, and Italy, so they, that's the three main languages. I mean, the main language is German, but they also know French and Italian. But a lot of people there speak English anyway, so which is good for me because I haven't got a clue about any other language. You have Bunny, number 2. Okay, and that's 100 lira, which is the old Italian money before they went into the fool's gold. Euro, sort of currency. Now this is from 1960, and this one I know definitely reprints the comics that were printed by Dell Comics in the 1950s and 60s. You have there's yeah, it says down the bottom here. I don't know if that'll actually come up, but it says down the bottom there. You probably won't be able to see that on there, but it actually says Dell Publications, and there you go. That's what Bugs Bunny is called in Japan. In Italian. Jack Il Nero. And it's a mixture. It's a mixture of colour and black and white. Now, I've heard that the reason why a lot of, especially the old British weekly reprint comics from Marvel Comics and DC, why a lot of them were black and white, was because it was actually cheaper for comic book publishers to purchase the black and white, just the black and white inked pages, than it was to purchase the coloured pages. So they would buy the black and white pages and just print them in the weekly comics, which is fair enough. And then they'd possibly recolour some of the pages if they needed to be in a colour spread sort of. So I don't know if that's the same with this one. There you go. And again, anybody out there who's got the old Dell comics from these, if you know which Dell comics they are, which Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny comics they are, please say down the bottom there. And then you've got puzzle pages, and this you've also got, oh, this is good, Tweety Pie and Sylvester, but in Italian Tweety Pie is translated as Titi, if that shows up on there. T-I-T-I, Titi, and Silvestro. So yeah, obviously something got lost in translation with that one. But yeah, there you go. So Sylvester and Tweety Pie in that one. And like I said, this is all in Italian. You have, what else do you have here? You've got Daffy Duck. Oh, that page is turning over. Daffy Duck, who's just known as Daffy. There you go. There's a dot-to-dot page that has been done, but I'm sure I can live with that. So yeah, again, I can't read Italian very well, if at all. But it's a nice bit of comic book history and comic book novelty, really, to get one of these little things. Like I said, that's Bunny 2. You have Bunny 11, which has got a really cool cover on it with Daffy Duck trying to help Elmer Fudd with his cold. You have, this one's a little bit knackered. The cover's coming away and some of the front pages are creased, but it cost me £1 Swiss franc, so that's hardly anything really. That's number 20 of Bunny. Now you'll notice between issue 11 and issue 20 there's a bit of a name change. Issue 11 is called Bunny. Issue 20 is called Bugs Bunny, but it's not Bugs Bunny as in Bugs is the rabbit's name. It's actually Bugs Bunny. So it's actually a rabbit, a bunny, who is owned by Bugs, someone called Bugs. But again, that's possibly how it was just translated into Italian. So, you know, no biggie there sort of thing. I just thought it was quite, you know, strange that it was written that way. Just noticed as well. But I knew that anyway, so it's no big whoop really. And again, same. Actually, just noticed there's a little story there. I haven't got a clue what it says. But again, all in Italian. But yeah, and the final one of that one is Bugs Bunny number 25. And like I said, these all reprint the old Dale comics that were done in the 1950s, 1960s of Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes, and all Warner Brother characters. And also in Italian, we have Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry number 1. And this is possibly one of the oldest foreign language comics I've got, because it was published in 1958. There, it shows up on there. Yep, 1958, April 1958, that was published. And this, again, yeah, Western Printing and Lithograph Company, so that's Dell, and it reprints the old Dell Tom and Jerry comics from the 1950s. And it's in the same style. You have a colour page and a few black and white pages and a couple of colour pages. So yeah, how's about that? And I did notice that this one it's slightly miscut. If you can see on here, the actual picture has been miscut, but I think that's from the printers. So I think that's actually how it come out of the actual printers when it was first made. So yeah, like I said, a little bit beat up, but Tom and Jerry number 1 in Italian from 1958, £1 Swiss franc. Now, staying with the Looney Tunes and that, staying with the Looney Tunes, this one, and I was going to try and pronounce this. Das Spacig? The Spacig. Aha. There you go. Sorry, asking my translator. Das Spacig, Sveinson, Dick, Taschenbuch, #1. Yeah, #1's in English, I think. Has 192 pages of Warner Brother cartoons, comics in German. This one cost me 2 Swiss francs. There you go. And again, it's Dell reprints of old Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny cartoon comic books, but this time in German. Yeah. And it's got all the guys in here: Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd. You've got Yosemite Sam in there. There you go, Daffy Duck and Yosemite Sam. Porky Pig. And I won't do my bad impersonations of them just yet. And again, it's quite beat up. The pages are coming apart. You know, I mean, the pages have come apart. Yeah. But it's probably not worth anything. The back cover's ripped, and like I said, it's probably not worth anything. But it's just a nice novelty thing to have from somewhere that you've been that you probably wouldn't have picked up in your local comic book shop. And I think this one is actually all in colour. Yeah, this one is all in colour. So you've got 192 pages, or over 192 pages of comics in colour on that one. And finally, which I'm sure you're all thinking to yourself, thank the gods for that, we have this one, and it's called Sonderband Gespenster Geschichten. And sorry for anybody who can actually speak German and never my bad accent. And that's #6, and it's a horror book. The Wolfmännchen von London. Yeah. Now this, I'm not too sure where some of these come from. It says in the bottom here, copyright The Illustrated, 1988. This one is from yeah, this one is from 1988, 1989. So I'm not quite sure what year this come from, but looking at the quality of the paper and that, I'd say it was quite old, probably like 1970s, 1980s. That one. Now, as I was saying, back to this one. It's a horror book, and all the stories in it are about werewolves. Really, you have the Wolfmännchen von London. Yep. You also have the Wasserhex, which is the water witch. See, I know a little bit, and other titles there that I wouldn't even bother pronouncing because I'd make myself look like a bigger idiot than I already am. And it's over 260 pages. Now, the really interesting thing for me with this book was as I was flicking through it, I thought to myself, I recognise some of those pictures. Yeah, I do. I actually recognise some of these pictures. And it turns out that in amongst all the colour strips you've got in here, this one here, there's a black and white strip, and I will give this one a go. Das Geheimnis der Beast. There you go. Again, I apologise to anybody who can speak German, who is German or Swiss or Austrian, who thinks to himself, "You're not saying that right. I'm English. I can't speak any other language." There you go. This story here is a reprint of a series that was published in the 1980s. Yeah, in the whole series went from around about 1988 to about 1992, I think it was, in the weekly British comic The Eagle. And it was originally called, the whole series was called Death Wish. It was about a guy who had a seriously bad accident. I think he was a stuntman, who a really handsome guy, really handsome stuntman, and he had this really horrific accident that permanently disfigured his face. So he had to wear this mask over his face to stop his now hideous features from scaring people. And because of this, he had decided he didn't want to live anymore, but he couldn't kill himself, so he decided to put himself into more and more dangerous positions to, you know, see if he could finally end his life, sort of thing. Which, if I remember correctly, that's what the actual story was about. And in this one, he actually goes on the hunt for a werewolf. There you go. How's that for a cool werewolf? Now, if anybody remembers this, I will probably see if I can Google it and maybe put some information down in the comment, the description bit, if I can remember after I've done this. That there, how cool is that? I'll see if I can put down in there who the artist is and who the writer was. I think it might be something like Matt Wagner or something like that who done the writing on this one. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Another little gem that you'd never get anywhere else. I think it looks like they also reprinted comics strips from another weekly British comic called Scream. The Flucht. No, I'm not even going to bother trying that. That one. That looks like it was originally printed in Scream comics. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. You've also got ones here from DC Thompson, which is another British comic book publisher, which I'm trying to figure out where they actually come from. Yeah. And you've got other comics as well, other strips there from, I believe it must be like European comics. There you go. It's a troll, foldy roll. No Bernie Wrightson, unfortunately, but you know, you can't have everything. Actually, there's a really good picture of the mummy. So yeah, that was a really cool find, I think, for me, especially seeing I like horror comics and that. Yeah, and then on the back there's obviously some adverts for other books in that series. So yeah, so there you go. That was what I got on my holiday. I think it was pretty good haul actually, considering that I couldn't find any comic shops at all. So yeah, looking at the clock now. Sorry about that. I didn't realise it was going to be so long. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you've got any comments, if you know anything extra about these comics that I've picked up, please comment down below, because everything I say on here isn't the definitive answer to everything that I say. Thank you everybody for subscribing so far. Really thank you very much everybody who subscribed. And please, if this is your first time that you've seen one of my videos, I hope it wasn't too long for you. They don't usually go on for this long. Okay, they sometimes do, but yeah, if you feel like subscribing, then please subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, thumbs up. and, you know, put a comment in the comment section, you know, because I love chatting to people about comics and everything else. If you didn't like it and you're going to thumbs it down, don't just thumbs it down and just run off and hide and giggle like a little schoolgirl. You know, don't be a troll. Actually say why you didn't like it. You know, just, you know, I'm not going to bite your head off yet. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and like I said, hope it wasn't too long, and yeah, see you again soon. Ta-ta for now.